Hello, everybody. I'm a couple of minutes late. I've been trying to get this going. Okay, let's see. Hi, Heritage Heart Homestead. Whispers from the Dark. Tapping screen. Is this thing on? uh, she said she'd be on at 11:55. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm a minute late. My little old Yorkies decided to start barking because they heard the cats getting after each other. Let's see. Okay, so we're really early. I'm at work, so I was just poking my head in for a minute or two to see what was going on. Well, welcome, welcome. We're just night chatting. uh, Hello, Free Henley Maid. I see you too. Well, your little picture thingy. What? That looks kind of like a wheel. What is that? I can't see it from here. It's too little. Up close and personal to you all, though. Sorry about that. Can you hear me fine? Whispers from the Dark. I have a homestead channel, but haven't uploaded any videos on the channel. Just on this one, Whispers from the Dark. Oh, well, we'll have to check it out. If anybody hasn't seen their channel, then go check them out. Waving from North Texas. Waving back at you from Kentucky. Girl, I need new legs. I'm so sore. You been working hard today, Niecy? It's my logo. It has the heart. Oh, okay. Well, it's so small showing up there. But yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, good. You can hear me. I got me some new toys, so I'm not going to be blocking my mic tonight. I got a new stand to hold the iPad so I wouldn't be moving it back and forth. And I did buy a wireless mic, but every time I plug it into my iPad, then I can't hear anything. It like takes the noise away. And so I don't know what's going on with that. So then I got this new holder here that would fit my tripod to fit the iPad because that was the problem. The other one that I had was too small. It was just for a phone. And so I had to just hold it. You're very welcome, Whispers from the Dark. Let's see. Yes, Niecy has family in Texas. She got the blueberry garden cleaned and pruned. I need to do that with my blackberries. They are a total mess, a shameful, shameful mess. But I haven't got out there to do it yet. Your hair is on fleck tonight. Fleck. Thick and Thin Lifestyle. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Night Owl Chat. I can't plug earbuds in my phone. It messes with my sound. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. Mine said for iPads, but every time I plug it in, I totally lose sound. Let's see. Whispers from the Dark. I heard this morning that research was shown that if you have one serving a day of spinach, it will increase muscle strength by 11%. So do like Popeye. We got our son to eat it by calling it dinosaur food because he is crazy about dinosaurs. He loves it. But you got to call it dinosaur food. Whatever works. I need a holder for my phone and a good mic so I can sit farther from my phone. Yes, I'm having to lean up so that I can read the chats as they go by. because I have a headache tonight, and when I have a headache, it messes with my eyes. I have a neck injury where I got rear-ended at a stoplight years ago, and it messed up all the good stuff from here to here, so makes my eyes go whoa. Some if it's not bothering me, I can see just fine, but on days where it's bothering me, then it messes with this eye here, so then I have to sit closer to read the chats. Let's see. Folique. LOL, my daughters use that. It means it looks great. Why, thank you. I just Miss Clairoled it again today. Oh, goodness. Very smart. I had my son eat broccoli by saying it was baby trees. Now he does that with his baby. Yes, they learn what you teach them and they pass it on. When my head hurts, my eye usually hurts and get blurry. Yeah, when I got rear-ended, it really messed my neck up. 15 minutes down the road and my neck totally locked up, and just completely messes the eye up. And on really bad days where I've been doing a little too much around here, doing a little bit too much lifting and tugging, then it really gets my neck a barking at me. And when that happens, no, it's just a big blur in this eye. Um, and I either have to just sit with an ice pack on and just basically freeze all the nerves in my neck. And if that doesn't work, then sometimes a heating pad will help a little bit. But I can't take prescription meds for it because I have a little, and prescription meds zonk me out completely. And so you can't be watching a little if you're zonked out. So I just take some leave and push on through because that's what you do when you're a mama. So, what's everybody been up to tonight or today? It was a beautiful day here. I hope it was beautiful where you all were. Roland Homestead and Wild Edibles in Wisconsin. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live chat. Just a bunch of night owls in here. Warren, oops, it moved on me. Warren Lewis. Hi, all. Hello, welcome, welcome. Doc P, best from Jess. Aw, Jess. Love Raid. Hey, y'all, if you haven't subscribed to Keto Homestead with Jess, go check her page out. She's been doing love raids all day. I was over there earlier, jumping in, doing love raids too. It's a blast. But another thing, Courtney over there, go give Courtney some love too. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, she's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's see. It was a fantastic day here. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Viper. North and South Homestead. Love raid from Keto Homestead with Jess. Love you all. Y'all are a hoot. I have a good time when I come over there and hang out. Smash the like button. Okay, I think I missed some up here. Let's see. Oh, CB is in the house. Hello. Okay. I completely forgot how to put the link in. Nisi. How do I find that link again to let people up here? You can't escape the love raids. I love them. Hello, Whisper White. Welcome, welcome. If any of you have true ghost stories you'd like to share with me, I'd be honored to tell them on my channel. You can remain anonymous. I have one that my mama told me many, many years ago. when we were just little kids. We'd go out to the strawberry patch and pick a whole bunch of strawberries, take them in. She would make us strawberries and cream. We'd sit around her huge table, and she would tell us ghost stories. And she would tell, well, I never known her to tell a fib, so my guess is that it was real, and it sounded real, and I remember it to this day, and I was probably like 5 or 6 years old at the time. Go to invite, click copy, then paste in the comment section of StreamYard. I love you, Nisi. Thank you. I know you'd have my back. Go to invite. Where is the invite button? Oh, there it is. Paste in the comment section. Copy. Alrighty. Nisi, you are fantastic. You are super, super fantastic. Paste. There you go. Alrighty. I think that worked. Is he still up tonight? Is he being a night owl, or is he sleeping? Little talked me into letting him stay up. He is actually in his room playing. I can't believe he's still awake. He'll probably zonk out in the middle of the floor playing. Oh, let's see. I need to figure out StreamYard, but Nisi says it doesn't play well with Wi-Fi, so I might have issues with it too. He's passed out with Dad on the couch. Mark just had to go to bed. He's been up since wee hours this morning. He had to work, so he actually stayed up a lot longer than he normally does. But Little did not want to go to bed, so he's in his room playing quietly. And like I say, he'll probably pass out in the floor, and then I'll have to get him up and put him in bed. I'm still here to chart. I'm still working on learning all of this stuff. It's been a while since I did a live stream because I got sick, and then I just didn't feel like it. So between that time, I completely forgot how to work this thing. I didn't even remember how to put the little night owl picture thing on it to post that we were going live. I'll have to get back into it though. Did you see what I said about my neck issues? No, I did not. If they move fast, with my eye acting up tonight, if they move fast, I just really can't see them very well. I'm sorry. I'll go back and look though. Oh, freehandly made. There you go, dear.
Hey.
Okay, where did you go? Jess. Oh, here it is. I have been in several wrecks, fell off of a semi flat in my back, had an 8x10 dropped on my,
There we go.
On my head. Needless to say, my neck is messed up. Oh, I would say so. Me too. I mean, and that girl barely hit me. I can't believe what she caused all of these years. She was
Yeah, it
talking
will
on her
mess you
cell
up.
phone. Yeah, she was talking on her cell phone and
That would do it.
right into me. I shouldn't have clapped. I got my dogs barking.
I got both of my dogs in my lap right now. They're
Well,
they're hogging the space.
Well,
Oh my gracious.
those two are little Yorkies. They're really, really old. They can't hardly hear anymore or anything. So if you try to get them to be quiet, you literally have to yell at them because they can't hear you otherwise. And then the other dog in here is Little's dog that Mark got him. She's a black lab, and boy, when she gets going, she'll wake the whole neighborhood up. She's in her box right now, though, or she would be going totally wild in here. She's still young and she's so full of puppy that
Hmm.
you show her the least little bit of attention, and it's like she just explodes with energy and stuff. She'd be knocking the
Gotcha.
tripod over and everything. Oh, let's see. I'm going to I'm going to test out Melon app. It's supposed to work better with Wi-Fi. Oh, I've never heard of that one, Nisi.
Yeah, Gil told us about it when he was on uh Wade Family Farm with Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'm gonna try it out on Tuesday morning. Well, brunch time, actually, according to you guys, because I'm 2 hours behind y'all. So we're gonna try it out, and if it works better, then I'm gonna do the switch because, as you can tell right now, my picture is very fuzzy, and then other days it's nice. StreamYard,
Mm-hmm.
you just never know what you're gonna get with Wi-Fi, and I don't want to go downstairs because it's cold.
Right.
And even then, sometimes the picture doesn't turn out all that great, and even when it's what they called hard plugged in to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I live in the mountains. But the Melon app, supposedly they use their own broadband width, which is why it's supposed to be better. So we'll see. And it's supposed to be cheaper than StreamYard. So
Ah.
I'm going to try it out and see what happens.
Well, I am technically challenged, so it takes me forever to figure out anything on the computer.
Yeah.
Mark got me a new camera at the end of January. Actually, I was complaining because I was recording on a very, very old Kodak EasyShare camera,
Mm-hmm.
and the zoom button was messed up on it, and so it made me look like I was at least 20 pounds heavier. And I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
and then one of the goats knocked it over. It was on the tripod, and messed
There
the
we go.
lens up so it wouldn't open or close. So I was complaining because when I use the iPad to record, then you have to go to iMovie and this and that. Otherwise, it messes it all up, and it's just a pain to have to go through all those different steps. And then you've got this big iPad that you're, holding up trying to film
Oh,
on, and
yeah.
so then on my cell phone, I would try to record on it, and then it would put the stupid black frames in on the
Mm-hmm.
sides of every video, and I can't stand that. So I was complaining about it, and his birthday is the end of January. So one day he came and he said, "Do you know what I want for my birthday?" And I said, "No, what?" And he said, "I would like a new digital camera, and you can have it." So I said, "Oh, all right. I like those kind of
Well, there
birthday
you go.
presents." So I
That
got it,
works.
but I'm so technically challenged that I had the camera for over a month before I could do anything with it, because I didn't know that you had to go buy a new memory card and that you had to format that memory card. And I'm like, how the heck
Oh
do I
my
format
goodness.
a memory card?
That sounds complicated.
So then the guy at Walmart, he was kind of laughing at me. He said, "Yeah, you have to format them to every new camera," and it's like, how was I supposed to know? And then they give you these this little bitty get started information thing, but then down at the bottom in teeny tiny little print it says for the actual uh, instructions, directions, whatever manual
Mm-hmm.
that you have to go to their website. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
I really want
gosh.
to sit and go to their website every time I want to figure things out. The thing is, the
My
thing has
goodness.
10 gazillion functions. I'm already technically challenged. So I'm like, I'm never going to learn how to use this camera. So the last two videos that I've posted was actually done with the new camera, which still makes me look 20 pounds heavier. So I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not. But I haven't figured out, is there something that's causing that or what? Because my aunt watches my videos, and then I go over there and she says, "Well, I was talking to your other aunt," and I said, "Man, she's as big as I've ever seen her entire life," and she says, "But here you are, and you don't look that big." Like, it's the stupid camera. Oh goodness, but yeah,
Gotta love
completely
cameras.
technically challenged. Completely. It took me forever just to figure out how to use this iPad. I'm like, how do I would come? I would get my nephew to come over and I'd be like, "Show me how to do this. Show me how to do that."
I
The
hate these
struggle is
earbuds.
real.
Technology.
YouTube won't even recognize my Kodak camera, so I can't upload videos from it. Really? Huh?
That's interesting.
Yeah, because my
That's weird.
well, I don't have it right in here. Mine is like my little Kodak camera, the one that the goat knocked over and broke. Um, I'm guessing it was probably 10 or 11 years old,
Hmm.
and I could upload it to the iPad, and then upload it to, well, I would have to edit it on iMovie, and then I would upload it to YouTube from there. So I don't know. Maybe if you
That's
pick
a
a
lot of
different thing
steps.
to upload it to, then maybe
Maybe
YouTube
it'll
will
work.
let him come on. That was sweet. Yes, it was. He is sweet. Yeah.
Oh, she says her camera's old, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Got a new.
I would think there would be a way you could still be able to do it. If your computer takes the SD card, couldn't you save the videos off the SD card onto your computer and then upload it to YouTube that way? I'm thinking.
I had to buy a little gadget thing that goes into the iPad to get mine to upload to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe you might have to. Maybe
She
you
might
might
have
have
to
to
do that
buy
too.
something to, yeah, to do that with.
Yeah, to convert it over. Oh, it's a 2008.
Hmm. I don't know.
You need to ask Santa Claus to bring you a new camera heritage.
Yes.
That's my vote. Y'all, I am really, you guys can tell I'm really tired. Um,
It
I'm
is the
here.
format it
I just,
records in. Oh.
oh, it's the formatting. Okay.
Well, can you change that? Because even my, hi,
Oh my
Trash Bag
goodness.
Fashion Lover.
Trash bag has come to
Hello.
visit.
Will you wear a plastic bag now?
He came to my live one day and did this.
Oh, no.
He doesn't have any videos on this channel, and he goes to people's lives and he asks them if they'll put a trash bag on.
Huh. I got a new phone and computer, so no camera. Oh. Hmm.
Well, how does your phone do at taking videos, Heritage? I mean, does it take decent videos? Because I do all my videos off my cell phone because I don't have a camera either. I want a GoPro is what I really want.
Oh, Lordy. Something
I
else
would
to
love,
learn how
I
to
would
work.
love, yeah, I would love to have a GoPro for real, for real, for real.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
All my videos are done on my
So
phone.
my husband had a field day taking pictures of his wifey doing manual labor in the garden because I've never done that before in my life. So I turned the pictures into a video and put it on my YouTube.
I
But
would imagine
yes,
you are sore then.
I'm very sore, y'all. You should see me trying to walk from the blueberry garden back to the house. I look like an injured penguin. I was waddling so bad, and I was just like, "You can do this. You can get to the house." I am really so. I'm not going to be doing much tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Well,
But
oh, go ahead.
I'm really happy because it was I mean, if y'all saw the before video of the blueberry patch, you saw how overgrown it was. And now my blueberries have space and all the old dead stuff is out of there. I have a whole bunch of new stuff starting to grow in the ground, and I don't know what it is. Um, that I need to dig up and get out because I know it's not blueberries. Um, and I And so I still need to do that, but all the other stuff. Oh my gosh, there was these things growing that had all these really spiky thorns, little like thistle type thorns that went through the gardening gloves. Some things hurt. And there was a lot of them. And I've never seen a plant like that before. And I have come to the conclusion that I do not like those plants. I'm sure they serve a purpose, but I don't like them.
Do they feel a little soft like on the top, and then they've
No.
got like stickery things all over them?
They weren't soft on the top. They were just just a whole stem of nothing but tiny, sticky thorns.
Huh.
It looks like the thorns would have been soft, but man, they pierce and they hurt. And they're hard to get out of your finger once they're in. So, yeah, I did not like them.
Fran says, "Welcome to the world of gardening. Now you know why they say
Yes.
it keeps you in shape." Yes.
Yes, it does.
Oh.
But I cannot get. Oh, I did that with the wrong thing. That's got aloe on it. Now my glasses are really smudgy. But anyway, it looks really good, and they've got a lot of really good, brand new buds and sprouts growing. And so I think we'll have a nice harvest this year. We had a nice harvest last year, considering that they had no room to breathe from all the other stuff that was growing and intermingling with it. But so we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens this year now that it's been.
Fran got a new Honda small tiller for her birthday. You sound like you need one too, Niecy, she says.
A Honda small tiller. Yes, I could use one of those.
She says, "Are you asking me if I'm getting views on my videos?" YouTube, they mess with my channel all the time. If you
I've been hearing that from a lot of
just
people.
a couple of months ago, I would post a video and I would get 1,000+ views on it and right away. And now it's like the videos are not going out to anyone. And I've been watching my my watch time hour count, and it's just moving like a turtle. And some days I'm lucky to get 10 watch time hours in a day.
That's weird.
And then I look at the views, and it'll say like 20 something views after like 15 hours that it's been posted, and this and that, and it's just crazy. And I have friends tell me, "Well, I'm watching it, but it never changes the views number." And so I don't know what they're doing. They just keep messing with my channel like crazy. And even subscribers, I was getting quite a few subscribers every month, and then now it's like, okay, you've got like so much more percentage less or subscribers every month than you normally get, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what is going on. But
I'm hearing that
from like getting thousands of views on your video to barely getting 30 in 24 hours.
I've heard a lot of channels having that issue.
Friend says
Um,
it's a 4 cycle. It just came Wednesday, but it's still in the box because we've had bad weather. Oh, she says nobody
mhm.
is watching hers either. It stinks. I think all new rollouts are messing with stuff. It is possible. I really don't know what's going on. It just really baffles me. And on top of that, is um what was I gonna say? I just lost my complete train of thought. uh oh, I don't know. I really don't know. It Oh yeah, and half the people. It says in my analytics that half of the people that are watching my videos are not even subscribed to me. I was like,
What?
are you kidding me? Why aren't my subscribers seeing my videos? Because they're not
It's
coming
like
around.
they must not be getting the notifications. I
I
will tell you that I am getting your notifications because I watched your the new ones you just put out. I watched them because I got the notification.
Oh, well, at least you're getting the
So I'm
notifications.
getting the notifications.
Highland Cloud Adventures. Oh man,
Hey,
I love
Land
his
Cloud.
dogs. They are the cutest things ever.
I need to check his channel out. He's a new one for me.
Oh,
Yep,
beautiful,
yep.
beautiful. Yeah, I
Um,
love it.
I found a channel that's from North Idaho, my neighbor.
Oh.
They had a huckleberry video. They're living off grid, and they got lucky, and they already had wild huckleberries on their property, which I'm very jealous about.
Okay, I have
Cause
a question about that for everybody that's in here. Oh, we don't have a lot of people in here, but for everybody that's in here. Oh, Fran says they're showing up on her list too. Well, good.
okay, well
They're
that's good.
showing up on
So
a
she's seeing
few.
them too.
Yeah, but yeah, I still I can't figure it out
Fran,
how you go from thousands of views and
I'm
then
not getting any of Fran's
nothing.
notifications on my channel at all. So I need to go back
Uh,
into hers. And what's probably going to happen is I'm going to have to unsubscribe, watch a video, comment, then resubscribe and re hit the bell. I've had
mm-hmm.
to do that to like 10 channels already
Yeah,
this
YouTube
week.
used to do that all the time. They would mess around with people and unring the bell. And so
It's
it may just
crazy.
be that you need to just go in and ring the bell again. Just, unring it and then
So,
ring it again.
yeah.
But,
Yeah,
oh,
because I'm
yeah.
not getting notifications.
So
And I know
on,
for a fact that I rang her bell on her channel. So,
yeah. So on the huckleberries, okay, there's garden huckleberries and then there's apparently some other kind of huckleberry. Um, is there one that is not edible and one that is, or is all of it edible? Because I've never
well,
been
you
able to
have to be
figure that out.
careful. You have to be careful. Okay, so the garden huckleberries are not wild huckleberries. They are that the garden huckleberries are cultivated. You cannot eat the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
The leaves are poisonous. Well, there's a debate on that. Some people say you can't eat the leaves if you cook them a certain way. I'm not chancing it. And then you have to make sure that the garden huckleberries are completely ripe. Do not eat
Mm-hmm.
any huckleberry from the garden huckleberry if it has any green on it because it's toxic. And the garden huckleberries are bland, whereas the wild huckleberries that grow wildly, they're not cultivated, they're very sweet. You could eat them right off the bush. Um, so there's your little tutorial on huckleberries.
Well, that's why I never planted any around here because I thought I don't want little loves berries. I didn't want him, going up and picking them if they weren't
Hmm.
ripe and
Yeah.
risking, something bad happening. Um, and then on top of that, we have goats, and if the goats got out, would it hurt
Hmm.
them if they ate it? And so
If they
I
ate the
wasn't
green
real
ones,
sure.
yeah. If they ate
I
the
wasn't.
green ones and they ate the leaves raw, yeah, it would
Mhm,
hurt. It would hurt your animals and hurt your kid or your child, because
mhm,
it is toxic.
mhm,
Yeah, I won't grow garden huckleberries, for that reason.
mhm.
I want to do an experiment and try and transplant a wild huckleberry bush into my garden because I live at the base of the mountain, literally, and I live in the right elevation of where they grow. I think it would survive. But
Maybe.
I've heard people
Yeah.
say you can transplant. I've heard people say you can't.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, the only way I'm going to know is if I try it myself and see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
I usually do pretty good with berries and stuff. Well, yeah, I guess really I don't because I've got a big 2 rolls of blueberries, and it's taken me years to actually get them to survive. And I was having to buy I would buy like 10 of them a year or something, and then 5 of them would survive. So the next year I would buy 10 more, and
what
5
kind
would
of soil
survive.
are you putting? What kind of soil are you using for them?
Oh,
They love
it,
acidic soil.
it's a clay, Kentucky clay.
Okay. Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
you would wanna have your own soil for them and maybe
yeah.
grow them in really big pots so that you can control the
Hmm.
pH and not you would get a better harvest and better fruit if you did it that way.
Oh, they're doing great now, but it took me years to actually get enough to survive
Yeah.
to make 2 rolls.
And it
And
takes
every
like 2
time,
years before they'll even start fruiting
hmm
at all, and then they say, "Don't let them fruit, cut the blossoms off and keep
hmm
pruning so that you get a nice, bushy bush so you get more of a harvest." But it's crazy.
yeah. Well, I've tried to root them. Yeah. I don't have success with that, but blackberries,
Mhm.
blackberries will grow almost anywhere though, so it's not really too hard to cultivate them. So then
Heritage, that's what I
strawberries and
plan
stuff.
on doing. When we go up to the mountains to find huckleberries, I'm gonna try and leave like a little like a fluorescent tie on one of them so that I'll recognize the bush when I see it. And once fall hits and they go dormant, I'm gonna try and dig it up nicely and transplant it into our homestead and see what happens. So we'll see. Maybe I should videotape it. Should I videotape it?
Sure.
And we'll see if it fails. I'll show it, and if it's success, I'll show it. So
Do it all. Take us for a little
okay.
walk and show us and tie it and say we'll come back in the fall and dig her up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Let's
it'd
see
be
what
fun.
plant.
Like a
Fran, we were talking about blueberries and blackberries and huckleberries. Oh, I just finally got a triple crown blackberry. I bought a triple crown blackberry, thornless blackberry plant years and years and years ago. And I moved it from where it was because we were doing something different there. And I put it right by the house in a little container. And of course, how blackberries do, it spread out and it rooted itself.
mhm.
And I just left it there. I have been taking cuttings from that one plant for years. And and then I take them and I put them in my blackberry roll. But I do have some of them that do have thorns, though. I think there's some Arapahoes and what's that one from? I think it's from Texas. I can't think of it right now, but it does a really good job, but it has thorns on it. I think the Arapaho does also. But
Hmm.
yeah, that triple crown, you put it in a good place, and you'll get new starts from it for years to come. And you know what? I never trim it all the way down. Not once have I trimmed it all the way down. I'll just prune some new starts off of it, or wait until it. Yes, Navajo. That's it. um, or wait until it roots itself naturally, and then I'll
Mhm.
just cut that and take the whole root out. But yeah, that thing has almost made my whole blackberry area just from that one plant.
I have new blueberry shoots growing out of the ground.
Oh.
So, oh, and the bush that's closest to the door, that one's still nice and short. But the other two that I pruned,
Mhm.
they're above my head. I didn't know blueberry bushes could grow that high.
Mm.
But they can, you guys, when they've been sitting unattended for 4 years. It's
Uh,
crazy. They're just growing wild.
I have tried several times to grow blueberries from seeds. Not once have I had a single one sprout. And I even put them in the refrigerator for the stratification time and everything. None of them have
I think it's
ever
easier
came
to
up.
do it from the bud.
I think it's easier
Plant the
just to take
bud.
a clipping.
Yeah, clipping of the bud and plant it.
Yeah,
Which,
because I tell you, I don't know how people. I watch them on YouTube, and they're like, they put the seeds down there, and
yeah,
then the next thing you know, they've got the starts, and they're this high up already, and it's like a gazillion of them, and I'm like, how? You must have a
there's
green
different
thumb because I can't do it.
there's different varieties of blueberries.
Yes,
Really?
many. Yes.
I wonder what variety I have, you guys.
I have a bunch of different mixed ones because, kind of like apple trees and stuff. You
Cross
have the different
pollinated.
varieties and they're supposed to grow better and produce better and stuff. So I couldn't tell you because of, the ratio of how many
Hmm.
survived and how many died. I couldn't tell you what the names of them are. So
I wonder what kind I have. I don't think my father-in-law would remember because it was something that my mother-in-law did and she's passed away.
we
Huh.
love blueberries here. That's why we planted so many of them. I want to be able to make smoothies in the dead of winter.
Yes.
With
They
my
freeze up
own
really nice.
non-GMO blueberries. Hmm.
Okay, Heritage. So
Yep,
they
everything
can get
is.
that tall. I think ours is, let's see, my husband's 5'6". I think ours is just about 6 foot tall.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I would love to know what kind of blueberry bushes those are that I have out in that garden. I wonder how you can tell. Hmm. You have a wild type called rubble. I know definitely though the ones that we have take up a lot of space. They're very wide. Um, that's how they've been growing is very wide. I got heartburn, you guys. Um, next thing I need to do, I was gonna do it tomorrow, but I don't think I have it in me. I need to do the raspberry bushes. Yeah, it's crazy how tall they got. And I guess there must have been some blueberries that didn't get picked because there are brand new blueberry shoots growing right out of the ground from where the bushes were. So, and I'm leaving those because that's going to give us more blueberries. Um, but it does. It looks so much better in there, and I feel like I'm so happy that I finally got one of our garden beds or gardening areas cleaned up and looking proper. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is really happening. I can do this. Um, and I had to watch video after video after video after video on how to prune older blueberry trees. So
Sorry, y'all. I had to go pee. Oh
can
goodness.
root them too.
Mhm.
I have a blueberry video. The thumbnail says, "Why so many blueberries?" Okay, I will look that up. So they can just start growing new shoots right out of the ground? That's crazy. These
See,
definitely
mine
have.
are not huge, so they're not doing that yet. They've got some good growth on them from just the little twigs that they were when I bought them, but they're not nowhere near that big. Um, Last year, we might have had enough of them to make one pie.
I just had someone comment on my blueberry video, you guys. It says, I see blueberry pie in the future. That's so funny. I want to learn how to make jam. I would love to make, my son loves blueberry jam or blueberry jelly,
Mhm.
but I want to learn how to make blueberry jam.
Well,
I've never
you
made
would do
jelly or
them about
jams
the
before.
same as any jam. You would just have to have the right amount of blueberries. I go
Mm-hmm.
by the ball canning book. You can't go wrong when you go with it. And
Okay.
but we've got videos on making jelly and stuff. We've even got them from making it from. Oh no, I didn't ever post one making it from juice. I don't think from juice
Have you
dispenser.
do you ever watch the TV series Friends?
Oh, used to love it. Used to watch it all the time.
Okay.
Are you
Do you
talking with
remember?
Rachel and Ross
Oh,
and
yes. I'm
yes?
obsessed. Do you remember the episode where Monica is making jam when she's trying to get over Richard? And
I
she
think
made like
so.
20 jars or more of jam and Joey ate them all. Like she didn't even seal them because Joey was eating them all. Anyway, this conversation reminds me of that episode. I'm sorry. It's
Fran,
funny.
a
I could
couple of
just see.
years ago, I made so much jelly and jam. Oh my goodness. We still have jars and jars of it. We don't go through a lot either. A lot of times when we're just wanting a sweet treat, then we'll just make a um, toast and jelly.
Hmm.
And of course, Little likes peanut butter and jelly. But I mean, we've hardly put a dent in all of that jam and jelly. So I don't know what I was thinking when I did it. Yeah, squirrel. but
Yep.
oh, but yeah, there's we did videos on it. It's really easy to make it. You just when you're making jam and or jelly, you can't not walk away. So make sure that you're doing
Okay.
it in a time where somebody else has Z so that you're
Yeah.
not sidetracked at all because it will burn fast.
Gotcha. Ooh,
Or it will
blueberry
be
syrup
bubbling
sounds
over
good.
the top and you will
Oh yeah,
have
that
a
wouldn't be
big
good.
sticky mess everywhere.
Blueberry syrup sounds really good. We do a lot
Hmm.
of pancakes up in this house and
Hmm.
waffles.
Jelly and jam will last a long time though. Yes. I do you ever watch Noreen's Kitchen? Either
I don't think so.
she
That's an
has a prize winning pineapple jam that she does.
ooh, that sounds good.
And I made it, and it is fantastic. I would have
It
never
sounds
thought that I would have
fantastic.
liked pineapple jam, but the stuff is amazing. Sweet, woo, very sweet. A little bit goes a long way, but it is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But
We
yeah,
had
Tibbs won all kinds of blue ribbons for that recipe.
we have somebody who goes to the market when we have our markets, which it should be starting back up here soon. And they make blueberry honey and they make huckleberry honey. And we tried the huckleberry honey, and I know the blueberry honey is going to be really good too. But it was fantastic,
Huh.
fantastic. So yeah, that would be interesting to learn how to do too. Is how they made that.
Fran, I just got some bulbs planted in the ground the other day. Also, I was excited to finally put something in the ground too.
My grandmother made pineapple jam. Oh, that sounds so good, you guys.
Well, she said the
I love
key is to
pineapple.
that to don't use a like a store brand. of pineapple. It's the crushed pineapple in cans that you get. You can use fresh pineapple too to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot easier and more convenient just to get it in a can. But she says use Dole. She says it's the
Use the
best
Dole
one.
brand of the
Mhm.
crushed pineapple
Crushed
to make it with.
pineapple, and make
Oh, my
sure that
husband
the
would love
can
that.
says 100% pineapple juice, and she says that is the key to it.
We have Gil in the house.
Family compound. Hello, Gil. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, kinfolk. Nice to see you in here.
Yes, kinfolk. I was just watching some videos. Well, I had them running. Sorry. I was tired, so I had them running for you though to help you.
There's a
fill the
lot of us
hour.
that are tired. There's a lot of us tired today because a lot of us got outside today.
Oh yeah. Well, I had to run to Lowe's today, and I don't have a pickup truck. I really, really need a pickup truck and a big old trailer. So all I have is our old Blazer that we use to haul hay and stuff in. And the last time I used it, I
Ouch.
hauled hay in it. So the air conditioner doesn't work, so you have to roll the windows down because it was like 74 degrees today.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
so
I wish. I'm so
so what I
jealous right
did
now.
is I thought, I've got to get that hay is going to be flying everywhere on me, and it makes my nose run. And then with the whole Rona things, your nose run or you
Yeah.
sneeze or something, and people think you have the
People
plague or
freak
something.
out.
So I thought I've got to get that out of there, and I am not going to spend 10 hours getting this out with a shop vac. So I got my son's leaf blower.
Yeah.
He got a leaf blower, I think, for Christmas or his birthday or something like that. He's only 6, but he loves that kind of stuff. So we got him one of the little electric ones, and he keeps Nana's yard over there all cleaned and stuff. But anyways, I took it and I just opened up every door in the back hatch
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and I blew all of that hay out. I said, "Man, this was a smart idea. I would have been here forever with a shop vac." So anyway,
That is a
it
good
was pretty
idea.
funny. Yeah, and it worked very well. I was quite
Nice.
surprised. So I had to go to Lowe's, and because we're getting ready to raise our greenhouse to make it taller so that I can add an extra shelf in it. And filled 2 more raised planters and made 2 more. Woohoo, Gil, you go.
Another person busy today.
Yes. And
Man,
so
I'm
I went
exhausted.
there and I had to get all of that wood. And of course, I had to
I'm
get
tired.
some for the sides that were 16 feet long. A
Mm-hmm.
Blazer is nowhere near 16 feet long. So I had them
Nope.
all the way up at the dash, on the
Oh my
dash at
gosh.
the windshield. And then they were hanging out about halfway in the back with the little flag on it.
Oh
And I
my
picked me up
gosh.
another Methley plum tree, the wood, and Little.
I'm so
He
sorry.
has this little like a little excavator sand thing for the sandbox where you sit in it and you
Yeah.
move it and it shovels it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a boy. He shovels it everywhere, and all of his sand was gone. So, and we filled two of the little kiddie swimming pools. And
Uh-huh.
so he usually takes the sand from one and he moves it over to the other and dumps it.
Yeah.
But it all went away, so I had to get 6 bags of sand to fill both of them because they're just the little kiddie pools, so they only hold 3 bags. Well, they could hold probably 4 or 5, but that would be flowing over the top. So them suckers were heavy, and that's what's got my neck messing up, and my eye messing up, is because I
Lifting
lift
all
and
that.
tugged all them treated 4x4s and
That will
6
do it.
bags of sand for a sandbox. And then I got me a Methley plum tree because every time I buy Methley plum trees to go down with the other plum trees, they always
Mm-hmm.
die. And
Hmm.
so there's another dead one. So I said, well, I'm going to have to buy another one. So I picked one up while I was there, and some more strawberries, as if we need more strawberry plants around here.
Oh,
We
that's
had like
another thing.
300.
I've got them growing wild in the main garden, and I was told that I can gently dig them up and put them in pots until I'm ready to put them back in the ground in a different area. So I need to do that because I don't want to be stepping all over them. And I saw today when I passed that the leaves are really nice and dark green and they look really good. So you guys, I think that I think my strawberries survived the winter. And I think the reason why they survived the winter is because if y'all follow my channel, you know I have a ton of different type of pine trees and evergreen trees,
Mhm.
and they all got covered with that pine straw before the snow hit. So
Mhm. Hey
I'm
y'all,
excited about that.
if you see channels in here that you're not subscribed to, write them down. Go check them out. They may become your new favorite channel. You never know. Let's see, Heritage Heart Homestead. I had to go buy pots, planters, and found an old table to pot up uh, um, on moved stuff around in my potting hoop shed and fed baby goats. Oh, we don't have baby goats yet. Not until around May.
Oh my
Everybody's
gosh, I
having
want
baby goats, and I'm
goats.
having to watch all their videos and
They're
everything
so
because we don't have
cute.
any born yet.
I'm doing chickens first. That's the first animals besides my fur babies. I'm
Kinfolk,
gonna have chickens.
kinfolk over there, autocorrect messing with them tonight. It does me that way all the time. I was trying to write poker in um, Keto Homestead with Jess,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
kept coming out. It came out. It changed it to locker the first time, and then I tried to do a correction to it, and instead of and so it still wouldn't do poker, but it didn't do locker this time. This time it did like plocker, and I'm like, what the heck is a plocker? I'm
Oh
trying to
no.
spell poker. Stop changing my writing. The autocorrect gets me all the
Heritage.
time with the stupidest stuff. I'm like, sheesh, you spell better on your own than autocorrect. And,
Hi, Sean.
technically challenged here, so I don't know how to turn autocorrect off, so it just keeps putting stupid stuff in there for me. Still didn't spell it right. I hope those make it. Camp Patton family saying hello to Kinfolk Farm of Georgia. Fran says my strawberries have to be dug and destroyed. Pretty sure they have disease. Oh no. I hate that.
There's
Hi,
not any of
Sean.
them, not one that you can save that's not infected, Heritage.
Hi,
That's
Sean Williams
sad.
from Czechoslovakia. No speaking
Wow.
English. Well, you good channel. Well,
I
thank you
try to
for
remember to
stopping
check
by.
before I hit enter.
I never remember to look at autocorrect to see if it changed it on me or not until after I already hit enter, and then it's like, oh, why do I never learn?
I don't have that issue too much with my laptop, but when I'm doing YouTube and I'm using my cell phone, oh, forget about it.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
I used to get on to my goddaughter when she was a young teenager. Well, it's not like she's that old now, but but um, because she would post stuff on Facebook, and her spelling was just horrible on there, and I'm like, learn to spell. And she says, well, everybody knows what I'm talking about. And then stinking autocorrect came out.
Oh my
Well, it was
goodness.
probably out before, but I never went on a phone to go on Facebook, and it wasn't. I had it turned off on my computer, so I never used it. And so then I changed, and I can't figure out how to turn it off on this. And so then I'd start posting stuff, and the stupid thing would change it. And then I'd go back and I'd read my post, and I'm like, what? I autocorrect makes me look like an idiot.
Hey, Gil wants to know how long you're going to be on tonight.
Drying out. I don't know. It's 12:55 now. We've been on for 1 hour, maybe another hour at most. At most, I am so tired. Go on, little.
I want to
Get
say
back.
something.
Oh, I think the little woke up. Yeah, her son woke up. My two boys are knocked out asleep on the couch, you guys. Hey, Gil, maybe she'll let you come up with us. That would be fun.
Sorry about that.
I was just telling
me
Gil,
on the
maybe you'd let.
computer, and he's like, "I want on," and I'm like, "No, go back to bed now."
I was just telling Gil he should come up on the panel.
I can put the. I don't know if it's still there or if I will have to recopy it.
You're probably going to have to
Gonna have
repaste
to
it because it's
recopy
way
it.
high up in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me do that
That way he
now.
doesn't have to scroll
Copy.
to look for it.
Can you see me pushing buttons, or do you not see that?
I'm not seeing it yet. But I'm on StreamYard with you, so I don't have YouTube pulled up because it causes too much interference.
I can't pull it up while I'm on StreamYard
There it goes.
either, and I can't figure
It
out
just
how
posted.
to. Fran, if you want to come up, you can come up too, dear. Yeah, I can't figure out how Jess.
Oh, you got us on squish mode.
We're all squid in a sardine can.
Let me try to figure out how to change this.
Second one from the left. There you
There
go.
we go.
There we go.
Well, it only shows 2 on mine.
So I finally got a good look at my soil in all those beds, and the soil is a very nice, rich, dark, almost black color. I've never seen soil like that before. Oops, that was my dog. I'm sorry. I got 2 fur babies on my lap, and they are so jealous right now. But yeah, I've never seen soil that color before.
Yeah, back in California on my parents' property, they bought it in 1960, and by the mid 70s and through the mid 80s. Oh man, after having horses and cows and pigs and goats out there and everything else, I mean, the soil was just great.
Oh. We deep bed our stalls from fall until spring, and then we pull it out, and I line my beds with it. And
nice.
That's what North has been doing for the last 2 weeks on his days off. Is down there shoveling out the stalls, which the animals aren't in there now. They're in different paddocks, but you know, he can work like 21 days or more without a day off. So, and then half the time when he's off, it rains, and then he can't do anything out there. So he's been about the last 2 weeks having to go out on his days off and stuff and shovel out the barns. But the deep bedding, it really does great because that stuff down at the bottom is very composted and ready to go by the time spring comes around. And I can do quite a bit of garden beds with it. And you can grow the fire out of stuff with that.
Yeah, we just bought a second house up here in Idaho, and the place we bought, Brandon, the previous owner, ran cows out on the side and everything for beef, and he had the big 6 foot wide, 4 foot by 4 foot bales or whatever they are, and he just set it out there in the one part of the field there. And when the cows got it down to maybe a little bit less than a quarter of it left, by then they were stomping on it, peeing on it, pooping on it. So he'd take another one out, set it next to it. I was out there with my tractor, just trying to scrape up some of the cow pies and a little bit of the alfalfa to put in my raised planter beds. And I'm going along, all of a sudden hooks and a big old, it's like, whoa, this is about 2 feet deep of cow manure and alfalfa here.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I have filled 6 IBC tote raised planter beds, plus 7 55-gallon barrels that I've cut in half for it. and it's just, I still got a ton out there left. It's like, I'm going to be set next year because I'm just going to push it all up in the corner and just let it compost all summer long and everything else. But
Yeah, my father-in-law is going to be coming up here very soon once the weather starts to get a little warmer. And he's going to teach my husband how to take the big tractor, and they're going to till all the cow patties that are in all 3 or 4 pastures back into the land. But I told my husband, like, before you do that, I need to get out there because I want some of those cow patties for the compost pile.
Yeah.
for my garden. So.
Yeah. What Brandon also had pigs here, and he had made a cement pad for them. It was a big, huge pour cement pad, and he was putting down the straw. I froze again, 18 inches thick in there, and my daughter, who's in the house across the street, was coming over and scooping it up into the big wheelbarrow, and just putting it on and some of her raised planter beds and stuff over there, and it's like we still got tons left, and it's like, okay, when my wife finally moves up here, she's gonna have the best garden stuff for her wherever she wants to put it.
Yeah. We let our rabbit manure do the same thing during the winter time, and every plant in our garden gets 2 scoops of rabbit manure in the hole before the plant goes in there. It's amazing. So I just let it pile up, and I take my shovel and my bucket and I dump it in there, take it to the garden with me, or I'll make rabbit manure tea out of it and give them a douse of it. Good stuff. And it's just a byproduct of having the other animals. So you don't have to buy that stuff at the stores, which you don't really know, you don't know what those animals ate and what's in the manure and what they've done to it and everything else. So it's always great to be able to get it on your own from your own land or from somebody else that you know, rather than buying it from the stores.
Yeah, that's what's nice with the cow patties that we have out here is it's not our cows, it's our neighbor's cows, but we know what his cows are eating because most of the time they're on our land eating what we have. So that makes it nice.
Yeah.
And then I also, because you guys know I'm like brand new to all of this stuff, I also was told that certain manures take longer to compost than others because you have hot manure and cold manure, and cow manure is hot manure. But I can't remember how long. I think they said that if I start my composting, which I can now because the ground is no longer completely frozen, my compost will be ready for next growing season, but not this growing season.
Right.
So I need to figure out. I've got wood barrel planters that I need to amend because the soil's just been sitting there for 4 years. And so I got to figure out a solution since I don't have any compost right now.
With cow manure, it depends on several things. One, if it's just patties laying on top of the field or not.
It is.
Okay. That sometimes being out there separate like that, depending on when it was pooped, you can start using it. You can use it sooner than later sometimes. Other times, if it's you got to, depending on the weather, the rain, and everything else. Other times you do have to pile it and let it compost and stuff. If it's like in if you got like I got lucked into out here with all that alfalfa and stuff. When I started pushing it up 2 weeks ago, and the one spot when I started digging into it today, I stuck the pitchfork in, pulled it out, and all the alfalfa was almost ash. And all the manure was broken down there. It's still warm from the composting portion, but when I put it in the bins, in the raised planter beds and stuff, and put the little dirt over and stuff, it will be good. It'll be good to go in 2-3 weeks.
Oh, nice. Now these cow patties have been here since, let's see, we got here in June. Yeah, June, because the cows were not allowed on this land until we got here. because my father-in-law didn't want to have to stay here. He moved in town. So those cow patties have been out there since June.
Well, they should,
So-
if they've been out there, 6 months or so out on the field, they
Mhm.
should be able to be used right away.
Oh, that is
Now-
music to my ears, Gil. You
Now-
have no idea.
One of the things that works that you really should do on it, don't just drop them in whole.
Oh, no, I
Break-
was going to
break 'em-
break them up.
Yeah, and what I've been doing, I've been borrowing my son-in-law's. He has one of these little electric chipper shredder things, for leaves and stuff like that.
Oh, I want one of those.
For some of the stuff I was getting from Brandon last year, I'd just stick that into it, break it all up. Then I would take I had the bag of the potting mix, and I'd put a scoop of each into it, and then mix it up and break it up together again. But with this large amount with the tractor, I scrape, turn it over, run over it, break it down, munch it up. And the thing is, there's a soil out here on the side here. That's all. Yeah, it's also where he was backing his trailer up to wash out his cow trailers.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff, when it washes out in a couple of weeks, it's good to use. But he's been
Nice.
washing out for years out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I can take the dirt. I probably take the top 4 inches of dirt and put it directly in there, and it's already rich with the broken down cow pies, the urine, and everything else, and it's ready to go. When we had cows in California during the wintertime, the area where the milk cows were at, we had 2 milk cows. I mean, they were sinking almost up to the udders out there because they would like to go out in the one area. And they're just walking it into the mud and stuff. And the next spring, my mom had us go out there and just dig that hole out again
Uh-huh.
and put it in the garden and bring some of the old dirt and put it back in there to level it out again. But if you have dirt and the cow pies mixed up and stuff really good, it really helps it. Also, if you don't have worms in there, if your raised planter beds have no bottoms and but you're not seeing any worms, ammonia. Dribble a little ammonia down in there,
Okay.
and it's like the dinner bell for worms.
I don't have raised beds. All my beds are straight in the ground. And I can tell you, after being in the blueberry garden, I have plenty of earthworms going on.
Yeah.
Now, whether I can get back up off the ground once I'm down there doing my thing is different. But yeah, we have no raised beds. They're all sectioned off with wood, obviously, but they're all in the ground. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
So,
This is not my garden. This is just a photo I pulled off the
oh, I know.
internet. Yeah.
That's your what do you call it? Screen. Your
Green
green
screen,
screen.
yeah.
Yes.
But that's not mine. Once I get mine,
I do want some raised beds though. I really do, because I'm not, my mobility is very, very limited.
Yeah.
And I had to get on the ground today to get some nasty plantage up away from the blueberry bushes so they can start spreading out again and not be choked by other plants. And boy, getting up was a challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm like I said, I made another 2 raised planter beds today using IBC totes. Now I don't know if you can get those, how expensive they are for you to get them, but like I'm getting them for $35 each here, and I cut it in half, and that now gives me 2 48 by 40 inch raised planters. They're
Nice.
they're 19 inches deep. And if like the top, when I cut the top off, I put it on top of a pallet because the other part's already on a plastic pallet it came with. So that actually raises it up. 3.5, 1.5, 5. So
Heritage says that they're $75 each where she's at.
Yeah, even at $75, that's cheap. You figure price of lumber to make a 2 foot tall, 4 foot by 40 inch raised planter bed is going to cost you $100 or so, a couple $100.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you make it out of redwood, the rough redwood.
Uh-huh.
You're looking at like almost $300 for, and that's just you cut those in half, so you got two. So you actually got 8 foot by 40 inches wide. So you're looking at like $300, to make a wooden one. And then in 5, 6, 7 years, it's going to be you may start rotting out. Whereas
That's
the
true,
IBC
yeah.
totes aren't going to rot out.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like raised beds. It's because they just rot out.
Yeah.
But if you go to Lowe's or somewhere, Home Depot, somewhere like that, usually those dog-eared fence pieces that you can buy individual, they're only like $2 and something a piece. And if you buy 2x4s to frame it, or even split them, I think it's called rip them down the middle. Then you can get away with just making them 2x2s. And they'll still last about the same amount of time as any other raised bed does, but you're going to do it for a lot cheaper. So you could do probably like a somewhere around I think they're a little shorter than 8 feet, but by 4 feet wide, and you probably got about $40 into a bed that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, using the fence boards, those are 3/4 inch thick.
Yes.
And all over the, so
Woo, 2 boards.
40 years of building raised planter beds for my grandmother and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
We made 1 year, we did the 3/4 inch stuff. The next year we tore it out and used 2x12s because it starts bowing and it just doesn't, and they were already, for some reason the 1x started to rot a lot quicker than the 2x do. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but
the wood frames that are in our garden, the wood frames that are in our garden right now, just to frame the sections, they have been in that garden for 30 years. 30 years.
Yes.
How far down in the ground are they? Just on the surface, or are they down deep in out? In the ground?
I'm gonna have to look. I don't think they're completely up off the ground. I think they're halfway, like in the ground. By the looks of it, it's kind of hard to tell right now because there's leaves everywhere and all kinds of plantage. But I'll take a look tomorrow. But yeah, I did notice that they're starting to deteriorate, but they've been in there for 30 years.
Yeah. The rough redwood ones we built for my mom, we started building those in 78, and it was 97, I think, before I had to change out any of those boards. But in California, they were getting watered. My mom had it on a watering system, so it was spraying water. So they're getting water on the outside and on the inside. Heavily water because the stuff whatever the plants she was growing, the lettuces and the stuff, wanted more water on them.
Yeah.
And so even then, still, when I took them out, they were still. I mean, they were rotten. Some places it was going through. But we couldn't just break the boards. We had to cut the boards up to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. I'll get out there tomorrow and I'll do a video of it so you guys can see what it is I'm dealing with. Because like I said, they've been there for 30 years and my father-in-law definitely told me that they're definitely going to be replaced. But I don't know if I want to go with wood. I mean, it's in the ground gardening, so I don't have to use wood.
Right. Gail says she painted her raised beds to help them last longer.
I think she painted them purple. Sis, did you paint them purple? I want to say she painted them purple.
Tractor Supply sales. Well, we have raised beds here. We have in-ground, just a plain in-ground garden, and then we have a different kind of raised bed. Because Mark works so many hours, I can't keep up with everything around here. So my motto is find things that makes my life much easier. And years ago, we came across the DeWitt woven weed barrier.
Mhm.
And so I put that in my gardens, and now I don't have to go back through and till or pull weeds or anything like that. It has been such a huge game changer to me in the garden. And we had raised beds, but they rotted out. And so we tried some different things. And last year I made a raised bed out of cobblestone. I did it myself. And just playing around with different ideas. You know, we've grown in
Mhm.
pots and things like that. But the kind of the modified version of a in-ground slash raised bed is we had our land graded in the front, and
Mhm.
so there's no topsoil, and you start digging down and it's rocks, so you can't really plant anything there. And so we tried the Ruth Stout method a couple of years ago, where you just put hay down and some compost, and you plant whatever it is you're planting, and then you just keep putting hay on it to keep weeds down. And it worked great. It was the first time that we could grow anything out in this area. And so I decided, okay, that was wonderful, but I am terrified of snakes. And when we went to harvest like the potatoes and stuff, there was like a
Uh-huh.
gazillion little snakes in there. And I said, oh
Oh.
no, we have to come
Oh
up with
no.
some other idea. So I kind of incorporated a little bit of everything into it. And so we clear the stalls out, and of course it has some hay and stuff like that in it.
Mhm.
So we line it up, and we kind of create a raised bed with all the compost on top of the ground, and then we put the woven weed barrier over the top of that. And so last year we had no snake issues with it at all, and I didn't have to go out there and pick weeds out or anything like that. And I could finally grow in a place on the land that could not grow anything but weeds before.
That woven weed
So,
barrier, is that black stuff that I
mhm,
saw? Okay, I
yes.
have some of that in my greenhouse, and
Mhm,
I noticed that some of that is on some of the in-ground gardens in the main garden. I was wondering what that
mhm.
stuff was and what it was used for, and now I know. So
Yeah.
that must be what she was using to keep weeds from.
Well,
Okay,
now
so
you
do
can
you plant
buy.
the seeds first and then the plants grow through that, or how does that work?
Well, you can buy the cheap stuff at any kind of store. I've even seen the cheap stuff at like Dollar General stores. Don't waste your money on it. Cheap meaning it's not worth buying, but
No,
it'll
this looked
cost you
like name
more
brand. This
than
looked like
the
name brand,
DeWitt.
like something she got at Lowe's.
Okay, no, still, yeah. Go on Amazon or go to growersolution.com, somewhere like that. It's
Uh-huh.
called DeWitt, and it's called
DeWitt.
weed. Yes, weed barrier,
Okay.
and it's woven. It's woven, and water will go through it. It doesn't heat your soil up though, and it will keep the weeds down. But you have to get like a little propane torch or something. I use the little one that I do creme brulee with. and, and you just go out and well, what we did is we used spray paint, and we just put the holes of whatever we were going to grow however far apart, like tomatoes. You're supposed to put
Uh-huh.
them 24 inches apart, but we skipped down to 18 inches apart. And I would just put a squirt of spray paint down the row, and then I would go back with my little weed torch, and not weed torch, my little hand torch, and just burn a hole there the size that you need it for whatever plant.
Okay.
And from there, when you plant the plant, then it just keeps growing up through that hole, but no weeds comes around. Well, you might have a few little tiny weeds right where the plant is while it's little, but once the
Mhm.
plant gets big, then the weeds don't really do anything. Um,
Okay.
If you want to
but
share that, I'll show what you're talking about. If you want to share that
let's see.
link I just put up, I mean, down below there. Yeah. So this is the
There we
DeWitt
go.
Sunbelt ground cover weed
Yes.
barrier,
Yes,
and
it's
this is on
fantastic.
Amazon.
Hmm.
And the 3 foot wide by 300 foot long is $78 right now.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I don't
Now,
normally buy the 3 foot. I normally
yeah,
buy the 4 foot, which is like $84 or something like that for it.
right now, 4 foot by 300 foot is $105.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
look at a different one because I've never actually paid that much for the 4 foot.
Yeah,
And
there are several of them on it. Prices have gone up because when
yeah,
I added it, it was less. When I added it to my wish list.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I just bought a new
it,
roll like last month and it was still $84 or something like that. So it's just jumped
yeah.
up here lately. Best stuff in the world. I mean, if you're not able to get out there and weed all the time or you're
Mm-hmm.
elderly or, and you can't be bending over like that to
Mm.
weed a garden, it is a total game changer. It is fantastic. And I don't
And
before what would happen was I would plant a big old garden and I would about kill myself tilling it all up. We just have a hand tiller. We don't have no um, tractor or anything like that, which would be fantastic, but we don't have one. So then I have a little and Mark works a lot, and so then the garden would start growing up with grass, and I wouldn't have the time to go down there and retill it and stuff, and then I would get terrified of snakes, so I wouldn't go down there at all. Oh, you got a boo boo? Is it all better now? No. Oh, well, I'm sure you will survive. Do we need to cut it off? No? Okay. All right then. What are you doing now?
yeah.
Gail, do you hey.
Oh, he's missing his two front teeth.
Quit, Goofy.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just my son that does stuff like that.
No, it's boys.
Do you till your garden, Gil? I've heard something called no tilling,
Okay. My
and that's
wife
got
in
my interest.
California is doing does no till, always has, because there's no way to get a tiller in there because she has so many little raised planter beds around, and what's not raised at ground level, she just turns it with a shovel.
Hi,
Um,
Christine.
okay, how am I going to say this? All right, there's a book out there by Ron Netzel, good friend of mine. He's been on my channel a couple times. I've been on his channel a couple times. He's the author of The Green Wizard's Guide. He's fantastic with stuff he's done, but he explains that when you till the soil with a rotor tiller, you're damaging the soil. You're killing the microbiotics and stuff, everything. But if you dig and just turn, you're leaving big clumps where everything's still living in there, and then it spreads out into the loose to the part you did turn and all the loose stuff, and actually vitalize it to turn small clumps, over and stuff to do it that way. Right here in Idaho, at the two new places here, in the one area where we were going to put an orchard, I disked it, which is different than rotor-tilling it, and then took the ground harrow and raked it smooth, and we planted corn there. And then we found out, oh, wait a minute, okay, this needs a lot more nutrients for anything to grow out here, because that was some of the areas that weeds didn't even grow.
Oh my goodness!
The pH out there when I tested it went off the scale. It only went up to 8, not 8. Was it 9? No, up to 9, and it was beyond that. And then we found out that because the city here is named Basalt for a reason, we're sitting on a big basalt bed.
Oh goodness! Well, that explains it.
It's very alkali. And so you need to put in a lot of wood chips and biochar in there to bring it up, or dump out gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of vinegar to neutralize it. But so I've been going for the last 2 years doing the raised planter beds with the IBC totes. The only thing I found that grows good in the ground here without any amendments to it, beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, Great Northern, navy beans, but pinto beans just goes hog wild. And so we just went out and planted a ton of pinto beans, and then we just disked it back under after we got 5 times what we used to plant. We got that more, and then just did the rest under to put nutrients back in. And but because the beans add nitrogen to the soil, and when you just the greenery in, it brings the pH down. So that's what we're doing here. But the only other thing did good was cantaloupe. Pumpkins did not do good. Watermelons did not do good. The corn didn't do good. The tomatoes, or my daughter planted them in the ground, didn't do good. Where she put them in a raised planter bed, did okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so alkali here.
Let's catch up on some of these chats here real fast.
Mhm.
A friend says Heritage Heart Homestead. They really do look like the ones at Tractor Supply sells. Are you talking about the woven weed barrier, Fran? Not even at Lowe's. If you are talking about that, they don't sell that at Lowe's. And the stuff at Lowe's, I paid a fortune for it the first time I tried to do landscape barrier.
Mm-hmm.
It did not work. The weeds just pushed it right up out of the ground. And it was just a complete mess. And I spent a fortune on it. It will end up costing you more in the long run to buy the stuff from local stores than it will to buy the DeWitt. And the DeWitt
Gotcha.
will actually work. You will end up saving a lot more money in the long run. The stuff at Lowe's that I bought, I had tried the cheap stuff from Walmart and places like that. It wasn't worth it at all. So I thought, well, maybe this more expensive stuff at Lowe's will work because it's more expensive. You get what you pay for, right? Is what my mind was thinking. No, it was just as bad as the other stuff from Walmart and everything. And so then I finally broke down and bought the DeWitt. And the stuff is just amazing. Just amazing.
There are
And
several of the
in the long,
homesteaders that
I
use
mean,
it, and it's just
yeah.
and they got their videos that they put it out in the spring, they pull it up in the winter, and they just roll it up and put it back down again.
I don't even pull mine up.
Uh.
I pulled the very first year that I put it down there. I pulled it up that year, and after that, I've not pulled it up since, and it's just fine. But and it's probably going on, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now of it being there. And
Wow.
I mean, it is worth its weight in gold, and it's 300 feet long. Now I don't get. Let me back up some. I do buy the 3-foot wide, but I don't buy it for actual garden. I buy it for walkway area. I buy the 4-foot for the actual planting rolls. And
Okay.
last year, when we started putting the beds that I was talking about, where we put the compost in the area that it's just rock and no topsoil at all, where I put the compost and then I heap it up so it's a mound, like a raised bed basically. And then I put the weed barrier over the top of that. Now that is the 6-foot wide. And it is a little different. The 6-foot wide is a little different than the 3 and 4-foot wide. It's got this different stuff on the back of it that the 3 and 4-foot wide doesn't use. So I'm not sure how long that one will last. But the 3 and the 4-foot wide will last a long time. And it is extremely worth the money. But again, I do the 3-foot just for like the walkways.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do the 4-foot for the growing because it gives you extra space. And I don't like to be crowded too much in my in my garden. But it kind of helps save with cost when you buy the 3-foot for the walkways, because the 3-foot is a little cheaper than the 4-foot. And so you do save a little bit of money doing that. And if you're just doing it for a walkway, I pull a wagon down my garden to harvest in. And it's plenty big enough to do that with the 3-foot. So why not save the money on that where you can?
Exactly.
But if that's what you were talking about, and yes, I do ask him, do we need to cut it off, or if he's going to bleed to death, or will he survive? But he's still at that age where kissing a boo-boo is magic, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll keep kissing boo-boos as long as
He
we
must
need
be
to.
my son. He must be my son's age.
And let's see what else. Oh, you were talking about Gail's raised beds. Oh, okay. The only lined raised bed with it. I only run line raised beds with the cheap stuff. I need to get the 6 foot wide, so it's not cheap. The 6 foot
Yeah.
wide again, it's different on the back. It's almost like it has some kind of fabricy feel to it
Hmm.
on the back of the 6 foot, but it's the same on the top. So I don't know why they did it different. And
So they
again,
did, so it wouldn't move.
well,
Because
again,
the 6 foot wide municipalities use it for bicycle walkways, and they don't want it
uh,
moving around. They'll put it down, and then they'll put the rubber bark on top of it. You know,
mhm.
if, that's
Oh,
what they do.
okay.
The city of Walnut
That
Creek in
makes
California
sense.
did
Yeah.
miles along the canal that way using that stuff.
Well, I don't know how long it will last yet, because like I say, we just started making those beds last year. We
It's for
used
greenhouses.
we used 2 of the beds last year, and we did not do any more. And we just started again this spring, and then the weather. I got out there a little bit too early, spring fever, wanting to start planting stuff. And so I started on the beds, and then I got the new camera and couldn't figure out why it was cutting off in 20 seconds and wouldn't record any longer, technically challenged. And so we haven't been out there again working on them. But I don't know how long the 6 foot wide will last. But if you keep watching the channel, you'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to share something if I may here.
Uh-huh.
Good night, Heritage. Well, Fran,
Good night,
have a good
Fran.
night.
Thanks again for coming by. It's been fun.
Heritage. Hang on a second, Heritage. All right, go ahead and you can share that. See, this is the IBC totes that I was cutting up,
Mm-hmm.
and I just cut it right on across in half using a 7-inch angle grinder.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll skip ahead till I pull it apart here. Where is it here? I cut the metal first, and then I cut the plastic with just a reciprocating saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me probably 5 minutes to cut the whole thing in half. I guess, yeah, there we go. And there you go, 2 planter beds.
Wow, that's cool.
Now, what I was doing with this, I'm going to pause it right here for a second. These milk jugs in the back,
Mm-hmm.
I lined the bottom of this one with it. And then I put filter fabric material over it. And then I filled it up with the cow manure, alfalfa, dirt mix out and back, and topped the top 2 inches off with potting mix. The reason I did it that way was so I could pick it up with my little Coyote tractor and move it around. But even with, that'll give it about 12 inches of dirt inside. Well, and that rich stuff is now I can grow, I can't grow carrots in there, but tomatoes grow fantastic in it. Swiss chard, rainbow chard, lettuces, beets, small beets, not the big daikon beets that would grow long, but, will grow in it like you would not believe. And you don't have to get down on your knees. So,
Right.
that's and what I did is I put the fabric material down and where we had our firewood pile, I put all the broken pieces of sawdust and broken pieces of wood in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that it basically acted like they did hugel culture for the bottom part of it. That will rot over time, and put and reduce the pH of the soil, and then the cow manure and alfalfa will put back the nitrogen that the wood is pulling out as it's decomposing. And so, and then that there. All right, there I taking it out there. I did. Okay, I didn't get the filming on this. And that's right, because it snowed on me. But I don't want the commercial. Dang it! Hit the ad. Yeah, I know. That's a non-skippable ad too, so it's going to take about a couple more seconds here. Okay, so there it is. Full up now. There's some
Nice.
of the other ones. And what happened was I put it out there. It was the wind was blowing real cold. I went in to get my jacket and stuff. Came back out, and snow was just coming down. So I skipped it. I went out to shovel real fast. I didn't take the camera out because I didn't want to get it ruined in the snow. I filled it up, and then this is the next day. You can see the snow is starting to melt around. There's still snow out there on some of these, but yeah. So I've gotten all these back there in the back, and these here, and then I've gotten 2 more done since then. And those things are, they'll last, years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
And
Those are nice.
yeah, and it's really nice is that I don't have to bend over with my back. I got 3 bulging discs and 2 protruding discs.
Ouch.
Bending over is not good for me.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. Now, some of the ones, this is a taller one. The one next to it is a shorter one. But some of them I've then just taken the top ring on it. Let me go back over here. It's going to come over here. Now, some of them I've cut it not down here. I've cut it up higher so that I have a shorter one here. And those I use for like the onions and garlic and the leeks and stuff like that. That don't have deep roots. They have a lot of more surface roots, and they're just, so I just fill it. I don't use anything in it to fill it, to take up space. I just fill it straight up. And then I'll have a taller one that works great. When I first started doing this, Brandon was taking these, cutting them off down near the bottom down here, above that first one, and leaving the bottom part of the container inside, and was using it and he'd cut up, make a feeding. I froze again, put a bale of hay in there, and the goats and the cows would come in and eat, and that bottom 6 inches would keep it from getting on the ground. Well, he was giving me the upper plastic part, just giving it to me. And I just turned them upside down, put some 2x6s around it. And so I have it's right about 36-inch deep raised planter bed. I have 6 of those over there that my daughter's using right now.
Nice.
Those you don't have to bend over at all for.
That's the one thing that I do love about raised beds is, you're not having to bend over as far. And if you've got health issues and stuff, then you're not having to bend over as far. And as you age, a lot of times people love to still garden, but as they age, they just can't do it. They can't get out there with a tiller and bend over pulling all kinds of weeds and stuff like that. So raised beds, they do have a very, very good place in gardening, whether you're younger side, in the middle.
Yeah, I definitely want to do
older.
my garden without having to till.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now we don't hardly till ours with that black weed barrier fabric. What I do is I bought one of the garden augers, and because we have the holes already burnt in it from our plants, then I just take the garden auger and I just do each hole and just run it through it's just on our drill, little Craftsman normal hand drill, power drill, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it does the hole good enough, and then I just throw my stuff in there, some calcium, some Epsom salt, some I use goat minerals. I toss some of that in there, and the rabbit manure. Stick the plant in, cover it up, move on to the next one. But that way, the entire garden is not getting tilled. So all of those worms and microbes and everything are still all in there undisturbed, except for that one little hole spot. But,
what a couple of the homesteaders that I saw that were putting it down and stuff, what they would do rather than make a hole, they had the propane torch, heat up an old carving knife, just cut a little slit, pull it apart, plant it, and it goes right back up against it. And then if they needed to change it, the one was getting some Calpico tape, and they just tape over that that slit and move it in and do it else another place. And the Calpico tape, if you can find it, is probably the toughest. Like it's like electrical tape, only it's like 4 mil thick. It's thick stuff, and that's what they use when they put in water lines and stuff, and they put in the valves and bolt it up. That's what they wrap around it to protect it from the water in the ground. But
Interesting.
yeah, so they were putting they moved the rows over a foot because they found out, oh, we need more space.
Yeah. It really is amazing. I mean, there are so many ways to grow food. It just amazes me that everybody doesn't do it.
Oh yeah.
It really does. I mean, even just growing in a flower pot or something on a patio or a balcony or something, to really find out what food is supposed to taste like. It's amazing how many people have no idea what a fresh grown garden tomato actually tastes like.
I have no idea, but I'm going to find out.
Really?
I'm growing tomatoes this year.
Oh, Nisi, it is sent straight from heaven. It's so good.
And I love me some tomatoes.
Yeah, but I mean, the tomatoes you buy in the store, even the very closest ones that you can buy to a garden tomato, is
like
the
the
little
organic
round
ones
that have the little stems, the vines still connected to them.
Yeah.
That is
Vineyard.
about the closest that I've
vine
ever
tomatoes.
came store bought to a garden tomato, but I'm telling you, it's still nowhere's near it. But yeah, it's amazing that people just don't even know what real food is supposed to taste like.
Yeah, I'm going from never ever taking care of a plant ever to planting veggies and fruits and wildflowers and marigolds and
It's addicting too.
It's a little overwhelming.
Oh, Gil, I was going to say while you were talking earlier and you said you can't plant carrots in it, any kind of root vegetable, if the soil is just packed full of nutrients, they won't grow. You'll grow all the green on top, but nothing down below.
I was talking about for the depth of the roots. Now I do on some of the 3 foot tall ones that I have. We planted carrots in them. We got carrots. My daughter's in 2 of the 3 foot deep ones this year is doing the daikon radishes. They're supposed to grow 30 inches depe.
Yeah.
So because it's so nice, it's nice, loose and loamy, so she'll be able to pull them out. Yeah. To offset the rich nutrients of the cow manure and everything else, I'm trying to remember, is it potash?
Yeah.
If you add to it, that makes the roots grow and not so much. So you just add a bunch more of that to it to do that. Yeah. My friend Anthony at Pimento Prepared, he'll get everything all mixed up and he'll divide up and then he'll add some stuff to this one because he wants the root crops here, and he'll add more other stuff to this one because he wants the top fruit and stuff.
You see all this, Nisi? You'll learn it all eventually.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I do plan on growing carrots and yams. So, and I haven't decided if I was going to do them in containers or not, but I think I'm going to do them in the ground. So I got to figure out how to do that so they'll actually grow in the ground.
Now, I always plant my carrots in a raised bed. I just find it much easier. They pull out a lot easier. I'm not having to dig them out. And, because the soil is so loose, you stick your finger down in there and just pull them out instead of having to get something and everything. I've always had better luck with that. But,
don't have raised beds, though, so.
Well, you can grow them in a 5-gallon bucket.
Can you really?
Yes.
I may do that.
Yes, you can.
I'm in Shed Wars, and I need to grow something in a bucket. That's one of the requirements.
You can grow them inside all
or
year
a container
long in a 5-gallon bucket. Have one right after another ready to harvest.
Yeah, if you get hold of 30 or 55-gallon barrels, I did a video on it. I took like 10 55-gallon barrels, cut them in half, turn them over, planter boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and just add your nutrients to it and stuff. You got to remember to drill holes in it so it can leach out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that hard to do, and you just layer your stuff going into it, or you just, if you have plenty of compost, you just dump the whole compost in there.
Just make
but
sure
you
that
got,
they're food grade.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these were all food grade. In fact, with the ones I had, most of them had, well, some of them had olive oil in them. Others had the syrup for soft drinks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, they came rinse, huh?
Oh, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, for Coke, the
Yeah.
concentrated syrup stuff for the soft
Yeah.
drink. And, the companies would order it there, and then they take it out and put it in the smaller ones and deliver it to the restaurants and stuff to put in their thing. But
yeah.
yeah, so those are all good for that. It's whether or not they're food grade, you got to make sure what they've had in them before. I had a couple of them that actually all what they had into them was dish soap.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like washing it out. You just rinsed it out. Okay, no more suds. It's all clean now. It's everything's been cleaned out. So you just got to be careful. Find out what was in them before you use them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my raised planter bed, my totes, those had polyurethane base in it, and which is food grade. But the foam. When they add the other chemical to it, it foams up and makes your polyurethane foam.
Mm-hmm.
So I was checking that out to make sure. I pulled out the MSDS, the material safety data sheets from the FDA and everything. And I froze again. I'm on not satellite, but I'm on radio tower communications. So I have this little dish about this big that's aimed at the broadcast, the central tower, a half mile away. And it can only put out so many megabytes per minute, and it slowly bogs down and freezes for a second. So I went and dug all the information I could out to make sure those were safe for food.
That's good.
Yeah.
We have some bakeries around about 2 towns over, and so they're always posting the big totes from that, and they've just got what is it, the sugary stuff to make the icing and stuff in from the donuts, and so if you have a place like that, if that's something that you're wanting to look into, if you have a place like that around, then you'll know that it's already food grade without having to do the extra digging and stuff. I know a lot of this stuff when you're first starting gardening and stuff, it can seem overwhelming because there's so much.
It's a lot.
If you could find somewhere like that so that you already know that it is food grade, then that'd make it a little easier. I'm drying up. I'm gonna push mute so I can cough.
Now, besides, some have most of the totes are 275 gallons. Then when I was cutting that one on that video in the back, that was a taller one. That's a 330 gallon one. Those are harder to find. But those are so much. That one's for drinking water, so that's why I'm not cutting that one up. But you can also get from the bakeries and stuff 15-gallon buckets, 30-gallon barrels, and the 55-gallon barrels. And there's a place in California, in Concord. It was a microbrewery, and they were getting the yeast stuff or something in their barrels, and they were just putting them out on the curb. Just getting rid of them. And it's like by the time I found out about it and got over there, someone had gone in and made a deal with them to buy them from them at $10 a piece.
Holy cow!
So, they stopped giving away. Oh, you want to buy? Oh, sure. No problem. That's money in our
Yeah.
pocket.
Right. Right.
And so, yeah, this guy made a deal with him, and he was turning around and selling them for $30 each. Because he'd take them, wash them out, yeah. So, but you can check around. You'd be surprised what you might find. Where barrels and stuff, and even with the 55-gallon barrels, besides the ones that have the two bung holes in the top, some of them that are food grade have the snap ring on them. So you pop it, and the whole lid comes off.
Okay.
Those are great for if you have dwarf citrus trees, where you have them outside, and winter comes and frost starts coming. Yeah, pick it up with a tractor or a fork or a hand truck dolly, and you wheel it in the barn.
Nisi, the neighbors' cows, do they give them the lick pails, the minerals and stuff? It's called Sweet Lick or something like that.
I do not know.
Ask them. They make
Okay.
fantastic growing containers.
Okay.
And usually, cattle farmers usually have so many of them that they don't even know what to do with them. And you could just drill some holes in the bottom, and they are a pretty good size, and you can grow a lot of stuff in those. And they're nice and thick. They have to be kind of heavy duty for the cows. But
What are they called again?
they're
What are
like
they
the
called again?
mineral lick. They're like a
Okay.
mineral lick.
Yeah, and
And
sometimes they have
it's
like an
pretty
oat
big.
type substance in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's got molasses and a bunch of stuff in it, so it's already food grade. And most farmers just don't know what to do with them. They've got so many of them because they've got cattle. So even if the ones that let their cattle graze on your land doesn't give them that, check around with other cattle farmers.
Oh yeah, I've got there's a Facebook group that I belong to for ranchers in this area, and they're all full of cattle. So I definitely have a few resources I can go to.
So there you've got raised beds for free.
Yeah. Yeah, I got several neighbors that, matter of fact, one of my father-in-law's good friends, he has a ton of cattle, and I bet you he has those.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, ask
So.
them about it, and you just drill some holes in the bottom for drainage.
Mhm.
If if you've got some kind of hardware cloth or something to just lay down in the bottom, even anything to just hold the dirt in if you end up having to drill bigger holes so that
Right,
the
right.
dirt is not seeping out the bottom, but that will let the water still come out. But they are great, and then you've got automatic raised beds just in a smaller container.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
Let's
Kim,
see
can
what
you
you got
put
here.
that up there? All right, this gentleman's name is Leon. He's 70-something, and he has a business in Oklahoma, and his channel's called Gardening with Leon. But these red buckets are those buckets you're talking about.
Yes.
And what he does with them, he
Okay.
doesn't drill holes in the bottom of them. He makes what's called wiki buckets.
Oh,
and
yes.
Basically, if I can find a spot. All right, there we go. There it was. He takes and puts 6-inch
Drain pipe.
drain pipe in the bottom of it, and then he puts the PVC in there. And what he'll do is he'll fill it up, and he'll put his material over it, fill it up with dirt, and then he just add the water to it, and it waters from the bottom up.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so basically, it's this is mineral tubs for wick baskets, episode 16. If you want to look it up, it's Gardening with Leon.
Okay. Gardening with
They-
Leon. I'll remember
they-
that.
They do come in different colors also, Nisi. So if you see somebody
Okay.
that has them in different colors, don't worry about the color. They come
Yeah.
in. They come in.
Okay.
several colors.
Around here they're black.
Yeah.
So-
They're black, and sometimes you'll find a red one around here too, but the red ones are usually a little bit smaller than the black ones.
Mhm.
But they
Yeah.
have red and black around here. So if
Okay.
you see a different color, don't say, "Oh, well, that's not right."
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, they call them mineral tubs. But yeah, he goes through showing how to do the putting the fabric down, and he uses that heavy duty sunblock
Yeah.
fabric, the wick the wet stuff.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean, the guy is, I want to hug the guy. He said he's grandpa. He's grandpa. And he's talking to you, and he's a cool guy. But yeah.
Mhm.
Now, one of the things he also did was talking about taking a 55-gallon barrel with the bung holes in it and putting a little basket about that tall, about that big around, and just setting it in there, and then filling it all the way up with the water with the nutrients added to it for aquaponics. And he and Daniel Arms were growing cucumbers or cantaloupe out of there. So it grow out down the side of the barrel, and you have the fruit on it, and all the nutrients and everything was in the barrel already at the beginning of the
That's
time.
cool.
Mm-hmm. Put you some goldfish in it, and then you don't have to add all the nutrients.
Yeah.
Guys, I am going to head out and go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's late.
Yes. I've got boys that are going to be waking me up at the crack of dawn. So
yeah, it's going on 2:00.
this was an awesome live, Kim. I learned a lot tonight. I appreciate you getting up here this late at night and keeping us other night owls busy.
It was a rough day today, and I was ready to take a nap halfway through it, but I'm like, oh no, it's been been like a month since I did a night owl chat, so
yeah, it's been a minute.
I just got sick, and I just did not feel like it
Yeah.
at all.
When you don't feel good, man, you got to take care of yourself.
It was all I could do just to post other videos.
Oh, I bet.
But I'm feeling a lot better now, so get back at it and
We're glad you're
in the
feeling better.
garden and get more videos done. And we've also got some more boxes to do unboxing videos with that we just haven't got around to yet. My family room is kind of piling up with the boxes that we haven't unboxed yet, waiting to have time to do the videos of it. But yeah, so there'll be more videos coming, especially since the weather is starting to get nice and everything. So maybe you can pick up some more little tips and tricks and stuff.
I'm sure I will. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, good night, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you around YouTube.
All righty.
Bye.
And if anybody has questions, just drop me an email. Very simple.
Yeah, and anyone watching replay or anything, check out the names. Go to their channels and subscribe and give them big thumbs up and let them know that you found them from North and South Homestead, and just show them some love. Community support. That's what we all need.
That's what it's about. All right.
Love sharing information.
It's been
Bye.
I'll have a good
night.
Bye-bye.